Hello everyone, Swinton here again, working on the Minor Problems map. I tried recording this before, but the audio went dead on it, so a lot of things got missed out. But just to get you caught up on everything, this is where I have the parkour course hub at. I went through and set up quite a bit. For example, let's go ahead and clear this out. I put in some command blocks to teleport you around. Okay. If you hear any clicking in the background, right now I'm doing a check disk scan on my external drive. It fell off my nightstand the other day and I've been worried about it. I've been worried about it being broken ever since. This video might get a little bit choppy because it keeps on doing frame rate dropouts for some reason. Lag right here. It's weird. Don't know what's causing that. It might just be the check disk running. Let's talk about a little bit of what I have set up here. Just like the spawn fact, this gives a little bit of the rules of the map. I even organize it to what the rules are and an explanation of the rule. It's not even really necessary to explain it, but just in case. And set of a fact, questions that you probably haven't asked. I'll probably be adding more on. Again, the format question answer. I'm going to do it on the next few rows if I can think of anything else. Then wrap it around the back. Same with the rules. And then going through here. Man, I hate that it's doing that. I don't know what's causing that at all. Okay, going through these command blocks here. First of all, there's this one. It sets you at adventure mode. And that's just so that the rule against breaking blocks is enforced. Don't know why you would really... well, I don't care. Then it goes through here. Make it so the command blocks are silent. Make it so that mobs can't destroy anything, because I did a test with that when I tried to record last time, and the amount of damage was just ridiculous. And then, after those two are set, it comes through to here. This is supposed to be delayed a little bit more. And this is how the scoreboard's going to be set up once the 1.5 update is put into place. I was watching Seth Bling's videos on those to figure out how to do this. Don't know if the slash is needed or not yet. I have to wait until the update to find out for sure. I don't want to put this into a snapshot so I don't get any problems reverting back later on. And the way this is going to work is that first person who, well, if in a single player this doesn't matter as much, but if you wanted to put it up on a server to play with a friend or something, first person goes through, they set the scoreboard up, and all that jazz gets set up. Dang, what's with the frame rate drops? All that stuff gets set up by the first person to go through, the second person just gets their game modes changed. That way there's no problems going with that. And why the heck am I trying to get a compass? It's a single player, not multiplayer. So yeah, if you can probably notice that this is a pretty close copy of the default spawn of 0. I couldn't do it exact because there are a few little Easter eggs hidden in this server spawn. See, I set up the teleport to the parkour area. I haven't set up the maze or the challenge puzzle adventure courses yet. I decided that I do want to add on a hardcore system of my own. Again, I'm going to be following the same basic rules. You're going to complete all 15 courses to be able to access it. Or more courses if I decide more. Which means I'll have to change the sign if I do. I'm going to use a scoreboard to keep track of points that way. And get teleported right here. Now these paths lead to where the different courses will be set up. At first I was trying to recreate a mushroom island and have the giant mushrooms as a parkour to get to the courses, but I'm terrible at organic building, so instead I copied an island from another map, pasted it in here. I finally got finally got MC Edit to work, and I also installed single player commands so that I could use World Edit on here, and it's been very helpful. Yeah, little things like this are. I know that there's no point to doing this. I mean, you could try jumping in if you wanted to, but you could also just walk around very easily. Currently, I'm working on the preliminary work for the food shop. Well, the parkour food shop anyway. In case I didn't discuss this in the first video, my plan is to have you kill mobs, and different mob drops will allow you access to different levels of food. I want it to be a 2-chest system, and one chest where you put in the mob drop to the chest where you can take out the food. And I'm going to have it bring up the food based off the item, all by minecarts. I saw in a snapshot the other day that they added hopper carts, which should make things a little bit easier that way. Now, when I tried recording last time, I learned that there seems to be a limit to how long the audio actually works for. And I haven't been able to experiment with that quite enough yet to be able to work with it, but I'm hoping to figure it out soon. 1, 2, 3, yeah. A lot of the work I'm going to be doing on this until the 1.5 update is just the aesthetic stuff. And I'm actually finding that I'm getting a lot more creative than I usually do with this. Normally when I build stuff anymore, it's very bland, very basic, but I'm really enjoying doing this. If you find yourself getting kind of bored with building stuff in Minecraft, I encourage you to try building a custom map yourself, because it actually does get you a little bit more inspired again. Let's see, what else can I really talk about? Let's see, I can discuss a little bit about what I'm planning on doing. One of the main things, I don't know if I talked about this in the first episode. I did try talking about it a bit in the second one, but the main thing that I'm looking for with creating the mazes for this is I want to base everything off of existing mazes on Zero. Of course, I don't want it to be a direct copy where you can just learn how to do the maze here and then do it there. I want it to be a similar theme. For example, this is the first one I'm planning on doing. It's based off of mob parkour, obviously, but it's going to be larger. It's going to have more stuff to it than the basic course does. One of the mazes I'm going to build is going to be based off of one of my own, Straw. If you've been on the server and you play it, you'll know that I try to keep that, well, to be honest, it's a bit unique compared to most other maps. What I was trying to do was create a create your own adventure map, but that didn't work out because people didn't want to play it like that. So now it's more of a force your way to a unique adventure. And I already have a good idea of what I'm going to do with that. I've had a few people, when I talked about this project, ask me what mazes I'm going to use. And honestly, I don't know all of them yet. I do know a lot of them, but it's still pretty open. Obviously, I can't take the time to ask everyone who I'm thinking of basing a maze off of if it's okay with them, because some of them don't get on the server very much anymore. And I'm pretty sure that most of the people on the server will be appreciative of being thought of for it anyway. And if you're on Zero and you don't want it, just go ahead and tell me now. Leave a comment and tell me that you would prefer not to have any of your maps used, if you would prefer it not. What else am I going to say? Yeah, I have a bit of a hard time thinking about what to say for this. Once I tried writing a little script type thing, but I didn't follow it at all. I don't think anyone really does if they write it, their own little script for what they're going to say. When I first started doing any video recording, I decided that I was going to mainly be doing it to try to get more used to talking, and it's really paid off so far for me. Obviously I still don't talk very much to begin with. Oh, didn't talk very much to begin with. I still feel a bit awkward in conversation, but I've gotten a lot better about it. One thing I really would like to mention for anyone who wants to build any kind of challenge course, a lot of the ones that I've seen both on and off of Zero, the ones that are really bad are the ones that don't really have a good theme to them. And what I mean is, they'll either just be like a, well, for main example is parkour maps. You get a lot of them that are just about jumps and how challenging they are. And that's fine. It's fine to have a challenging jump course, but at least give it some character with a theme. And the ones that people like the best are the ones that have a good theme around them, and they get really drawn into the idea of it that way. Some of them, they'll have a very basic theme and it will just turn out pretty bad. What was I doing with, what was I going on with that? Excuse me. One in particular I'm thinking of, someone on Zero. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want them to feel bad about it or anything. I don't want them to be called out. That they built a course, I tested it out, and there were some challenging bits to it, but it was very short and it really could have used some work. So I give them a piece of advice I give them the same piece of advice where, get a good theme, build off of it. Why does it do that? Get your theme, build off of it, and once you develop a good theme to work with, a lot of the course will come to you naturally. For example, when I was first setting up this spawn area, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. And I noticed that the original shape I had was kind of like a mushroom, and instantly I thought, oh, Mushroom Island, parkour across the mushrooms to get to the different courses. And of course that didn't work out too well, but the Mushroom Island concept stayed, and I personally think that it looks pretty good for it. Yeah, it's not something I actually built myself, but that's another thing that a lot of people don't seem to realize. You don't have to build everything yourself to really get a good course. For example, recently the way that the FFA system works, the maze point system on Zero has changed, and some courses offer more points. I'm very happy to say that Nashra got a orange rating, which gives it 4 points, which gives it a 4-point score for completing, and Shrita Severin got a red score, which gives it a 5-point rating. With Shrav, one of the main features is the tunnel system that's naturally occurring there. And that feature I didn't have to do anything with, really. I just went through, lit it all up, blocked off areas that were outside of the protected region. I didn't really do much work with that. Yeah, sure, I also had to build a way up out of it again. The original pathway I had to change because it was so easy. Oh, I wish I had saved some pictures of the original map I had there. But, you just get your natural terrain, build off of the features of it, and you can get a pretty good course off of that. A lot of the naturally generated terrain in Minecraft is pretty amazing. I mean, just to think that this is all based off of algorithms in a computer. I'm still thinking about some themes for the other two areas. The hardcore set is definitely going to be set in the Ender realm. Ugh, tongue tied there. A little bit of prettying up. Now, just have to think about this a little bit more. Just to let everyone know, I do record at night, so I try to keep my voice down. So if it sounds like I'm whispering, that's just a side effect of how I have to do things. A lot of the hub areas are just going to be about aesthetics, and while I'm normally a person who values functionality more than the looks of things most of the time, a lot of Minecraft is making things look nice. One of the what was I saying? One of the major people in parkour, in my opinion, is Metaphor. I subscribed to his channel, but he hasn't had any updates in a long while, which is really disappointing. But he created a video not too long ago asking people why they play Minecraft, and he had some of the bigger names in Minecraft on YouTube on there responding. And he asked people for their responses too, and well, for me it's pretty difficult to answer that question. It's not because I don't know why, it's because it's hard to explain. I got into Minecraft because I've always enjoyed Legos. I love to build things, and Well, when I first saw the game, I thought, oh, that's kind of stupid. I decided, okay, I'll give it a shot. Played it around a little bit and found out, it's a lot better than it first looks. It does a lot of the things that I look for in games. One of my biggest complaints about gaming in general lately has been that people have gone from wanting a game with a good gameplay, a lot of replayability. They went instead of wanting that, now they are all like, oh, shiny graphics. Graphics makes the game, and that's why things like Call of Duty really got popular, is because they got realistic graphics, and then people started playing them mainly for that, really. And I don't really enjoy the mindless games out there. I like things that make me think a bit more. Outpost 2 was one of the first games that I started playing that really had that aspect to it. And I really enjoy strategy games like that. It still brings in enough light, doesn't it? But another one I keep on going off on tangents there, but another series that I really love is the Myst series, and I was really sad when the Cyan Worlds almost had to close down. When the economy took a dive, they had to cut back on almost all their staff, and they rushed out an end to the Myst series just so that their fans wouldn't. I don't know what their reasoning was, but I really believe that it was so that their fans would have some form of closure to the game just in case they didn't make it. And they're hanging on right now. Well, most of their work has been in the graphics for other companies. Let's see. But if you've ever played in this games, you'll know that the scenery and everything has always been amazing. Especially considering how old the game is, seeing all the detailed landscapes that were in it. And then using live acting for it was a pretty good move, in my opinion. Okay, let's look at what the mob drops are real quick. Wither Skeleton Skull, that's one. Bone. Slime Ball. Ender Pearl. Zombie Flesh, Spider Eye. Gas Tier. Blaze Rod. Gold Nugget. Do I want to include the Nether Star or not? No, I don't. So that's 9 items there. It's definitely more than 9 types of food. String, that's 10 items. And I had to balance out the rarity too. Rarity, not so much rarity, but difficulty to obtain. And obviously a zombie is easier to kill than a skeleton. I'm gonna have to think about that a bit, but I'm gonna call it an episode for right now. I do plan on doing more updates later on. I want to include more of building of the actual courses, especially the parkour, since it doesn't matter if you see the pathway. Mazes, it's going to be a lot more of little clips here and there. And I'm going to go do the hardcore set completely off camera. Want that to be more of a surprise. So let's see. If you have any suggestions on how to balance things out, I know that I really could have been looking for suggestions as to, well, how to rate the rarity of, difficulty to obtain things. Like, for example, I know that ender pearls are going to be one of the most difficult things to obtain, and zombie flesh the easiest of them to obtain, but I really don't know about other things, like how do I balance spider eyes against string and stuff like that. So any suggestions you guys have for that, I would really appreciate the input. If you have ideas for the other hub areas, I would appreciate input on that as well. And let's see what else. If you do not want, if you're on Zero and you don't want your course to be used as a theme basis, please let me know. If you see me on Zero or here in the comments would be better, because then I have a little record of it. I might forget if you just tell me when we're both online. Trying to think what else I can say. I do plan on doing another tour of Zero tomorrow. I was asked about that a little bit today earlier. I'm going to be starting doing both tours of people's houses that they want to show off, or and I also want to show off some areas that people can build in. I know the other day I was hearing, not the other day, a while ago, a lot of people were saying that there's no room to build on the map, and there's so much space out there. And the further people build out, the more I can expand the subway system. One of the main things holding that project up is that I don't really know where to put the destinations at. I can obviously put some near people's houses and hope for the best, but there's not really much I can do until I see more about what people are doing. So if anyone gotta start over on that thought. Anyone who is currently a blue who is really working hard to get builder status, you might want to keep an eye out for those episodes that show off build areas to see if there's something that you might like to build at. I'll be including, the general look of the area and where the coordinates are, of course, and maybe some of the nearby builds if there are any, just to give you some ideas to plan with. I know that when I was still going through the hardcore system, I looked at the overview map a few times to really scout out areas. Let's see, what else do I need to do? I also have to work on the Outpost 2 Let's Play. I was recording an episode of that, and I found out that the trick I was planning on using no longer works. So I got to figure out when that update happened. Oh, that really messed up the whole session when I found out that it doesn't work anymore, because the entire strategy I was building off of was built around that. So anyway, I'll call it a night and let you guys enjoy something else for a while. Well, have fun, everyone. Talk to you next time.